Hey everyone, it's KS Bros, and thank you for joining me today for another episode of this New York Mets franchise. Our last episode was the All-Star Edition episode. If you guys haven't checked that out, visit my channel page to see what happened there. Alonso defended his home run derby belt as he outed Miguel Sano in the final round. Now onto the All-Star game itself. DeGrom pitched 2 scoreless innings, and Conforto was a partial hero in tying the game up late in the 8th inning by homering off of Aroldis Chapman. Again, if you haven't seen that one, check out the YouTube channel page. That is a must-see episode. Now, on to today's episode. This is the first episode post the All-Star break. The Mets, with about 50 games left in the season, find themselves 7.5 out of first place behind the Braves. They are in first place when it comes to the wild card. First or second, I forget which one. But they need to improve, and that starts here with this series against the Rockies. The Rockies, who have been a tremendous team up until this point. They find themselves 68-44, having a tremendous season, a bounce-back season. And that brings us to the lineups for today's game. The Mets have their normal lineup. They got Brandon Nimmo, Jeff McNeil, Alonso, 1, 2, 3, top of the order. Cano is in batting cleanup, and then Conforto, Ramos, Smith is in against the righty, and Lowry is giving Rosario a day off. Now on to the Rockies lineup. Garrett Hampson, the speedster, is leading it off for the Rockies. He is in center. Murphy, the ex-Met, is at first. Arenado, the All-Star, is at third base, batting in the 3 spot. Blackman, a ex-MVP candidate who's batting .326. He is in the cleanup. Dahl, Story, DeShields, Butera, and Senzatella follow him up. Let's get to the episode. Alrighty, and let's get into the action. We are here at Coors Field as the New York Mets are ready to take on the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies find themselves sitting 24 games above 500. A tremendous season for them after a disappointing campaign last year. The Rockies will have Antonio Senzatella on the mound. He's having a good year. 22 starts, 3.98 ERA. Senzatella is a 25-year-old. This is his 3rd year in the majors. He got roughed up last year, pitching to a 6.71 ERA. So this is a big bounce-back year for him. First batter of the game, Nimmo lines out to DeShields at second. Now Alonso, 2 batters later. The pitch from Senzatella, and Alonso drives one to deep center field as he's all over that fastball. But Hampson is there for the putout in center field. 3 up, 3 down for the Mets. And the Mets will have Noah Syndergaard on the mound. He has pitched great so far this year. He has remained healthy, which is always a priority for this Mets staff. First batter of the game, Garrett Hampson up, the speedster. A 2-2 count. Here's the pitch from Noah. And Hampson flies one to Nimmo in center. Nimmo barely has to move as there's 1 down in the inning. And now Daniel Murphy up to bat, the ex-Met and the new Mets killer. For all you Mets fans out there, once he went to the Nationals, he completely obliterated the Mets as he had an insane stat line. He batted, I want to say, near 400. He hit multiple bombs. So Murphy gets on base with a single, and Arenado now up. He grounds one sharply to Alonso, but that is a double play as the first inning comes to an end. Now, top of the second here, Cano on a full count. The pitch from Senzatella, and Cano lines it into left field in front of David Dahl. And there you look at the stat line. Cano finds himself near the top of the National League in hits. That brings Conforto up. First pitch swinging. He lines one over the shortstop's head, and that will go all the way to the wall. Cano rounding second. He is in at third, and Conforto is in at second. The Mets have guys on second and third with nobody up. And that brings up Dom Smith, who got his call up just before the All-Star break. He's batting .270 here in the majors. He lays off that curveball. Cano stays at third, as Butera does a good job of keeping that one close. Now the 1-1 pitch, and Smith rockets that one to deep right field, as that is out of here in a blink of a second. 110 miles per hour, 422 feet. Smith's 8th home run. And as I mentioned, he hasn't been in the majors that long this season. To have 8 home runs in the season already, that is some insane power production. Now bottom of the third here, Butera up to bat, the Rockies catcher. He hits a routine grounder to Larry, but he can't make the play. Now Hampson up to bat. He singles one to center, and the Rockies have guys on the corners with 1 out. That will bring up Daniel Murphy. He hits that one just foul as the count moves to 2-2. The pitch from Noah, and Murphy is caught looking as that changeup catches the outside corner, and Murphy is in disbelief from that call. Now Nolan Arenado up to bat, and he lands one past Cano. It gets past Nimmo, going all the way to the wall, as both Butera and Hampson come around to score. A 2-out, 2 RBI double for Nolan Arenado, as he was all over that low slider. Now David Dahl up to bat after a Blackman walk, and Syndergaard gets him to fly out to Smith in left field. Syndergaard limits the damage. Now moving to the top of the 5th after a scoreless 4th inning, Syndergaard is up to bat, and he makes contact, and it gets past Murphy as it goes down the line. Blackman runs it down, but Syndergaard is in at second with a leadoff double. The last thing you can do as a pitcher is to give a hit up to the opposing pitcher to lead off the inning. That is just asking for trouble. Now Nimmo here in a 2-2 count. He gets a pitch to hit, and he grooves that one over Story's head, and that will go all the way to the wall as Syndergaard trots on home, as the Mets tack on another run, making this 4-2. They'll bring up Jeff McNeil, who's still looking for his first hit on the game. First pitch swinging, he gets a hanging curve and shoots that one to center as Nimmo comes home to score an RBI hit for Jeff McNeil. And the score is now 5-2. And that'll be it for Senzatella as Bud Black is out of the dugout. Senzatella is shaking his head, as this was definitely a poor outing. And they'll bring in Jairo Diaz out of the bullpen. For Diaz, he's having a good year this year, 2.82 ERA. Prior to this year, he has been in and out of the major leagues. But last year, he had a breakout year out of the Rockies' pen. And first batter he faces, he gets Alonso to ground out into a double play. Diaz does his job. Now, bottom of the 5th here, Arenado 2 outs, 1-2 count. And Arenado chases that high heater. Syndergaard has himself a 1-2-3 inning. End of the 5th, Mets are up 5-2. Top of the 6th here, Wilson Ramos up to bat with 1 out. He gets a pitch on the outer half, and he shoots that one over to Shields' head. As that one gets to the warning track, and Ramos slides in safely at second. Another double for these Metsies. And that'll bring up Smith. He already has 3 RBIs on the day. He gets one to hit, and he drives that one to right. It'll be a hard hit single to drive home Ramos. Smith is having a coming out party here in Colorado. Now Jed Lowry up to bat as he's giving Rosario a day off. He grounds one sharply but right to the Shields, who induces the double play. Now bottom of the 6th here. We got Blackman on second with a walk and Story on first after a single. And Syndergaard gets the Shields to fly out to Nimmo as both runners stay put. Now they'll bring up the catcher, Butera. And Syndergaard gets him swinging with his slider. As Syndergaard comes up clutch, the Rockies can't take advantage of the runner in scoring position. Now moving to the top of the 7th here, Rosario is in, pinch hitting for Syndergaard. And first pitch swinging, he hits one through the hole. Syndergaard's night is over. He had a quality outing. 6 innings pitched, only 2 earned runs. And Nimmo, he on a 3-1 count, he lays off that close fastball for a walk. And the Mets have guys on first and second. And Bud Black is going back to his bullpen as he's pulling the plug on Diaz. They'll bring in Brian Shaw, the ex-Cleveland Indian. He's having a great year this year, pitching to a 2.38 ERA. A much-needed bounce-back year as he has struggled with the Rockies in the past couple of seasons. McNeil, first pitch swinging. He hits this one perfectly, going to deep center where the wall reads 415. Hampson is there for the putout on the warning track. Rosario tags up to third. Now Alonso up to bat. He cranks one to center. Rosario comes home to score. And Nimmo is on third. An RBI hit for Alonso. That'll bring up Cano. The pitch from Shaw. Cano's first pitch swinging. And that squeaks by Murphy at first as another run comes home to score. It is now 8-2. The onslaught is happening. Now Wilson Ramos looking for his second hit. He gets that one over to Shields' head. And that will load the bases for Dominic Smith, who's looking to do more damage, but Shaw doesn't give him the chance as he hits Smith in the back. As a run comes home to score, it is now 9-2, and all Murphy can do is stare at the ground and shake his head. Now Jed Lowry up. The pitch from Shaw. Lowry's first pitch swinging, and that one is to right field. Another double. Lowry picks up 2 RBIs on that hit as Smith stays put at third. And now bring in Jake McGee as he hopes to put an end to this one. It is 11-2. The Mets have ran away with this one. Jake McGee, the X-ray. Rosario, who started this inning. McGee gets him to ground out to second to finally end the inning. And the Mets will end up winning this one as they cruise to a 14-5 victory. Blackman does get a 2-run shot as he makes this game a little bit more respectable. But now looking at the summary, Syndergaard pitched well enough to get himself a victory. 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. Dominic Smith was definitely the star of the game, 3 for 4, a 3-run shot getting the Mets started in the second inning. He ended with 6 RBIs. Cano and Ramos both each had 3 hits apiece. As the Mets bats were thriving today, 18 hits here at Coors Park. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time.